Hello everyone! This is Sorry and Target welcoming you back to another video talking about Carnivores Dinosaur Hunt, where today we are going to talk about your community suggestions that you guys have been leaving on videos about the game. Specifically today, we are going to be talking about the maps in Dinosaur Hunt. Digital Dreams have put out an announcement that they are currently working on bug fixes and technical updates for the game, which is great and where I think their priority needs to be right now. But they've also mentioned that they've been checking the comment sections of my videos for other fixes and suggestions, which is awesome. So after I posted a few videos about how I'd like to see Dinosaur Hunt improve, you guys sounded off with what you want to see added or fixed. So maybe to save Digital Dreams some time, I've gone through and compiled some of the better suggestions and fixes that I've found that I hope they'll find helpful as they continue to patch up Dinosaur Hunt, with a few suggestions thrown in that I've discovered myself since then. Now, these are not going to be brand new maps, dinosaurs, or weapon suggestions. Videos on those topics are coming soon. But these are suggestions related to what's already in the game that should be relatively easy to implement, and how we think the overall product can improve. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so real quick to start, I mentioned in my Dinosaur Hunt wish list video that I, and many in the community, would love to be able to hunt at night in the game, and after I posted the video, I did a little digging. The Carnivores reboots used CG skies for the environmental skyboxes in each map. So I went to their website to see what they had, and what do you know? They've got some beautiful night skies for just $20. So I'm just saying, for 20 bucks and some lighting work, I feel like nighttime hunting is very feasible. I've noticed that as you're scrolling through the map selection from the menu, the Basmashi Rock's fog level doesn't have its own custom backdrop like the other maps do. It just borrows from either Basmashi Rock's Dusk or Delphia's Hill's Day, whichever one you happen to have been on last. It also still looks like it's locked as you scroll past it, but once you get to it, it's back to normal. So these are just a couple of minor menu bugs that I think could use some fixing to help improve the overall presentation. One thing that several fans have commented on is that all of the maps sound the same no matter where you are. Whether you're in the jungle or out in the open or on the beaches or in a pond, all of the maps sound pretty much identical. Just insects and wind. And some more variance in the environmental sounds depending on where you are in the map would really help with immersion. Maybe have some waves crashing and seagulls calling on the coast, and more sounds of rustling leaves and bird calls and snapping twigs in the jungles. On top of that, some distant ambient cries of the dinosaurs available on each map would go a long way in making the worlds feel more alive and keep us on our toes. We'd constantly be wondering if that distant roar we heard was just ambience or a Ceratosaurus over the next hill. I and several other fans have also noticed that some of the leaf or bush hitboxes will sometimes block our shots, which can get pretty frustrating. Now, if it's a tree trunk or a rock that we hit, of course, that's gonna make sense to block our bullets. But I've lined up some perfect shots where all my crossbow bolt had to go through was just some leaves, and the leaves completely ate my shot from hitting the dinosaur. I don't think a few leaves should be enough to stop our bullets in their tracks, so some adjusting on the leaf hitboxes would be very nice. Now, the current maps are all pretty lacking in terms of interesting landmarks and Easter eggs right now, but I'd like to suggest a couple of ideas that would incorporate both points of interest and some additional hunting mechanics that should be relatively easy to add. Preset dinosaur carcasses and dinosaur nests. Currently, the dinosaurs in the game spend most of their time traveling between water sources to drink, which is great and allows us to hunt water sources reliably. But adding just a couple of more places where dinosaurs are known to go would be fantastic. Dinosaur carcasses scattered around the map could attract carnivorous dinosaurs to come and eat there, meaning we could set up nearby and hunt the predators as they come to feast. But if we kill and leave a dinosaur, our kill would take priority over the already dead carcasses in attracting the carnivores, because our kill would be fresher meat. And dinosaur nests could be places where dinosaurs would gather to sleep and rest, and would add to our list of areas to check as we hunt across the maps. We can see the lakes and the ponds from the overhead map, but we probably wouldn't be able to see where the carcasses or the nests were, especially if their locations were randomly generated for each individual hunt. So getting to discover and remember where these areas are located would be such a fun experience as well. I think we all agreed that the maps could still use just a little more life in them. The return of the Gallimimus and Pelecanimimus is a great way to help flesh out the world a little bit more, but another relatively simple way to help the maps feel more alive, I think, would be to include little insects flying about. I remember the maps in Carnivores HD and Reborn had butterflies flittering around, which was really nice and added a bit of serenity to the environments. And I think bringing those and maybe a few other insects back to the maps would really help them feel more real and full of life. In addition to the butterflies, we could have locusts hopping out of the way in the dense underbrush as we walk through. Maybe flies could hover above dinosaur carcasses, and dragonflies could skirt above the ponds. I'm pretty sure the insects in Carnivores HD and Reborn were just simple 2D objects, so I don't think they'd be too difficult to implement into Dinosaur Hunt. Personally, I've never been a big fan of splitting the 3 maps into 9 levels based on the time of day or weather. To me, it's always looked and felt cheap, messy, and unorganized. However, if we do get more maps through DLC, there might be an actual technical issue that comes up with this current system of splitting up all the maps. Let's say, just hypothetically, we get 3 more maps through DLC, each with their own day, dusk, fog, and night versions, depending on if night gets added and if fog gets restructured into a random in-game weather effect. So again, hypothetically, that's 12 new levels we have. And if we want to hunt, say, DLC map 2 at dusk, we're gonna have to scroll through like 30 levels just to find where we want to hunt, which already just sounds exhausting and tedious. My suggested fix for this is to regroup all of the time of day and weather options into a basic map menu. So for example, we've got our hypothetical 6 base maps all lined up, and then once you click on the map you want to hunt, kind of like right now how you do the same thing to pick the licenses, you can then select the time of day or the weather from there. That way, all of your map options are organized right at your fingertips, and you don't have to scroll through a dozen levels just trying to find the specific time of day or weather you want to play. There can also be an additional menu in there to bring up which licenses you want to select, so it wouldn't require a complete revamp of the menu structure. Alright, so there you go guys, those are some of the ideas that we all came up with to help improve Carnivores Dinosaur Hunt. And be sure to keep the feedback coming. What else have you experienced in Dinosaur Hunt that you think needs adjusting? I know Digital Dreams are checking these videos and comment sections for feedback, so be sure to sound off in the comment section down below and let them know. Let's do our part to make sure Dinosaur Hunt becomes the game it was always meant to be. Thanks as always for watching guys, you are all truly the best, and I will see you guys next time.